A couple of days ago, I saw a guy for his last visit. As far as I know, it's going to be his last visit, but I mean, he's post-op back surgery, which usually we don't see that many, but anyway, so, you know, he's better and everything else, and so, you know, he's been on a walking program and all this other stuff, and anyway, so a couple of weeks ago, things that bugged him the most were going up and down inclines and also doing stairs. So anyway, so I see him, and the day prior or 2 days prior for me seeing him, he had just done a bunch of stairs. Now he's not running, he's just walking. Anyway, so he says his back got sore, his legs were fine, you know, he's worked out before, he understands workout soreness kind of stuff. So anyway, so I take him through my scan like I always do, and just to make sure everything's working. And his right leg extension and right hip flex, seated hip flexion, kind of, you know, he said they're fine. I said, well, they don't look the same. And he goes, well, that's fine. I said, well, what do you feel? He said, well, I feel some pinch over here in my groin. And I thought, well, I want to get rid of that. I said, okay, fine, you know. And then, so I said, well, all right, so everything else looks good. You know, he's touching his toes. He's got full extension, all that crap. So anyway, I just had him do a twist. And so, because I just said which side feels easier, and of course he picks up on it. So he does it, you know, just like I do, 3 sets, 15 seconds. Okay, it worked. You got to do it again. So he does it again. I said, all right, pick your right knee up, and he picks it up. He goes, man, are you shitting me? I said, no, I wouldn't do that. So he said, if you are, I'm going to throw you in the back of my car. He's the sheriff. And okay, I said, but anyway, I said, straighten your leg out. So he does it. He goes, man, I can't believe this. I just did this twisty thing and my groin got better. I said, yes, so do it again. So he does it again. He goes, it's completely gone. I can't believe it. I can't believe it. So I said, well, it's fine, you know, and I explained a little more about how that process goes on that we look at. So at the end, I said, so, you know, if you got any questions, just call. Or he said, well, I got a question. So I thought, well, I guess I loaded myself up on that. He says, you know, he said, I had left wrist surgery about 20 years ago. And he says, it still hurts a little bit. He says, but obviously it's functional. He says, but I lack some motion. It feels stiff. Can you help that? And I thought, well, you know, if he had told me sooner, I would hope that the twist would help. Then I said, but, you know, a lot of times I just say I don't know on the first time. So I don't know. Let's try it. So all the movements he has feels fine except for wrist extension, and that's where he's stiff at. So I just had him just do it on the, you know, mirror opposite thing, 3 sets of 15. Didn't help him at all. I said, well, if it doesn't help, you do it again. He says, well, I thought you only did it again if it did help. And I said, well, you do it again if it helps or it doesn't help, but we don't do it after that. So he does it again, no help at all. So I'm thinking, well, so what else can we do? So I said, well, come on over to this table, which obviously is not obvious, but it's a plinth. So anyway, what I have him do, maybe you guys can see that, is I just had him, now imagine I'm standing up, leaning on a plinth like this. So I just said, put both of them up there and lean forward. And of course, he's going to get a big stretch across flexors. And so, you know, the left one is obviously stiff. And so I just had him do, you know, just lean into it on the well arm. So essentially, it's a passive flexor stretch, but we're going into the motion he can't do. So he does 3 sets, and I said, oh, don't lean on that one. I said, just pull it back. He pulls it back. He goes, I can't believe it. He says, it's better. I said, okay, do it again. So he does it again. He goes, I can still tell it's there. He goes, but that feels better. He says, after all these years. And I said, yeah, you know, keep doing this, and if you have any other questions, just call or something like that. And so he kept talking about it on the way out. And then as he's leaving the room, he goes, listen, if you're ever in my county and you run into any problems, you call me. I said, got a deal. Now, if I was 20 years younger, I'd probably been in trouble.